Look, right now the situation's so desperate, Steph. We've seen the fastest fall into sort of catastrophic hunger almost that we've seen before, certainly in the last couple of decades. So any aid is useful, but we must be clear on this. Yeah, a ship has got about the equivalent of 12 or 13 trucks of aid. Okay, there are hundreds and hundreds of trucks on the other side of the border here in Egypt. There is such an ability using the road network. So efficient, fastest, safest still is by road. If we're going to turn around this man-made imminent famine, it's going to be done by the right decisions, and that's going to be roads. And Steph, that's going to be more crossing points in the north, which are about 10 minutes away. I've been in the north, 10 minutes away from people who are literally hand-to-mouth universal signal, we're hungry, malnutrition is taking root here.
Just how important then is it to have those road closures obliterated and some of that aid to be able to get through as part of these negotiations for a ceasefire?
Yeah, it's everything. Look, a ceasefire. On Monday, last Monday, Steph, when there was the Security Council resolution deciding for a ceasefire, you saw hope lift here. And this is a place where people are just literally holding on. Bombardments are every night. It's hard to overstate what it's like when night after night your home just shakes and your glass smashes based on, I'm not sure if you can hear it now. It gave such hope. But since that ceasefire, the hope has been drowned out by the bombs. Now, we have to go back to that. A ceasefire is children go to bed knowing they will not be killed overnight. That's not dramatic language. That's where we're at right now. A ceasefire is getting those hostages home, Steph. There are children in tunnels somewhere. That torment has to end. And a ceasefire gives everyone a chance to rapidly flood the Gaza Strip with aid and maybe prevent this famine.
And you were just talking about the hand-to-mouth symbol. What are some of the stories that you're hearing on the ground in Gaza?
Oh, Steph, look, well, I was in a hospital today in the south. Every time I turn around in a hospital, I see another child with the wounds of war. I look literally today by a little boy and a little girl, 9 and 10 years old. The boy's lost his eye. The girl is now terribly disfigured. She's so mortified by that. I'm talking to them. There is a little girl called Salam over my right shoulder who probably won't make through the night based on her head injuries from a blast. There is a family on my left shoulder. The mother has had an amputation. The child is in critical condition. The father's had a double amputation. They are all stories in one hospital simply since the ceasefire was announced. In the north, it's tens of thousands of people. They're cut off from the world. Steph, when I was there, it was interesting. Not only am I seeing children who are paper thin, and a mother say to me, my daughter dreams of eating slices of cucumber. This is the dream of children here, vegetables. But everyone around would say to me, Steph, we need food, water, medicines. Now, I know this. I work here, but I would listen. And why do they say we need food? Because they assume, Steph, that the world doesn't know. Because if the world knew, how could this possibly be happening?
And this, of course, this shipment is coming over right at the time of Ramadan as well. So there are some special items that are actually on board, aren't there?
Right. Okay. Well, look, good. I mean, it is a special time, Ramadan, of course. Right now, people have been fasting for a long period because it's forced. And this is, as I've learnt being here for these last few weeks, it's usually a time of great joy. Every night when people break their fast, it's family, it's kids in the streets, it's all your cousins, it's sweets, it's all those things. Right now, instead of all your cousins, we are seeing children who've lost all their cousins and their aunts and their uncles and their families. This is a Ramadan like they've never endured. The difficult thing here, why we need a new chapter for Gaza and for its children, Steph, is things continue to get worse. The bombardment tonight will be as severe as any other. Children here in Rafah, it's, one shower for 3,500 people, 3,500. So as this goes on and as decisions continue not to be made for a ceasefire, you're seeing lives lost, you're seeing homes lost, their families who did just like in Australia. They worked their entire lives to get a home for their family. And now, as they say, James, I'm too old, I can't do it again. And dignity's being denied. So yes, at a time of Ramadan, anything is critical to people, but what they would really see as a gift would be a ceasefire.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think on that, the United Arab Emirates on this latest ship, they're offering dates, which is traditionally what you use to break the fast. So just trying to inject a little bit of normal life for those Palestinians who are suffering so much. But you mentioned then just in terms of being able to shower and things like that. So apart from the immediate concern of famine, there's also that real risk, isn't there, of disease that would potentially spread too.
Yeah, it's the great fear we've had when you can't devastate a sanitation system and a water system to this level and not have disease outbreaks. Families have done everything they can to protect their children from bombardment. Now I see mothers crying over severely malnourished children. Disease and malnutrition is a perfect storm. So that's a great threat children have now from the ground beyond, as I hear again, from the skies. And then there's the mental health, Steph. You know, I talk to child psychologists. We are in uncharted territory. People often ask me, is there still hope here? Mums will say, you know, my husband was killed. I've lost the ability to feed my children every day. I've lost my home. All I've got is hope. Then we'll talk to teenage girls who say, we hope the next bomb hits us. We can no longer live like this. They hope they're going to be killed. The abnormal, the horrendous is being normalised amid the horrors that children keep enduring here in Gaza.
That's just absolutely devastating. You really are painting a picture for people back here in Australia. Thank you so much for your time, James Elder from UNICEF in Gaza.